was like, Mwahaha. Maybe I'll start all of them like that. You know what the funny thing is? I'm probably not gonna edit that out either. So, oops. Oh well. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So the power of love isn't about romance. It's about being fully seen, fully witnessed, and fully chosen. So today we're going into and exploring what deep, true love is. And there's cat hair on my lip. We're exploring what deep, true love is and what long-term commitment really calls for, and why self-worth and boundaries are the key to finding a long-term commitment with a true love. I don't know if you guys can see people. So if you were to ask me what true love meant, I would say that love is being witnessed through every high and low. So on the days that you are so excited and, like something amazing just happened to you and that person is just there uplifting you more. And then the days where you literally feel like you don't even want to get out of bed. Like you literally, like you just want to like rot and like jump off a cliff. And that person is either there to rot with you and just be there for you throughout that moment, or to encourage you to get out of bed. And they fully see the way that you are in that moment, and they know how to fit in just like a glove. They notice every quirk and any awkward moment that you have. Anytime that you're almost about to break down in tears, but you're trying to tell yourself to be strong, they notice every small victory. So that literally means buying straws if that is something that's important to you. Like, it's someone who notices every individual thing that makes you beautiful, but also reciprocating that back to them. That's the hard part. You can find someone that you feel this way for, or someone could feel this way towards you, but if it's not reciprocated, then the situation won't work. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you know your self-worth and hold your boundaries, so that way that you're only holding space for the person who can show up for you in this way, and the person that you can show up for in that way. True love is not a performance. Let's make that very clear. It's definitely not what you're going to see on social media. I mean, and obviously it's the sum of the things that you do see, but it's so much more hard work behind the scenes that you can't even describe to somebody else unless they truly love somebody. It's about presence, and it's just about authenticity. Did you guys hear anything going on? There's something going on next door. So that's kind of why I'm like, just a tad. It's just, there's just a lot going on next door. So literally just take a second and ask yourself right now, unbiased, just who in your life truly sees you. If you were to list one person, or if you were to list 3 or 5 people in your life that truly see you, who would it be? And remind yourself of who it is. So when it comes to love as support and partnership, it's about more than just passion. It's about showing up for each other. And I feel like a lot of people get the wrong idea of what showing up for somebody means. I feel like a lot of people think that that means like publicly being, like in the public eye, you are constantly there for them, like any big moment, anything that can be posted about your relationship is what you think is like the correct form of this relationship. When that, or like not correct form, but that's what you think showing up is. Showing up publicly does not equal showing up in a relationship. And I want to make that very fucking clear. Showing up for somebody publicly does not mean that you're showing up for them fully in the relationship. Just because of what other people perceive of your relationship does not mean that it's perfect. When I talk about someone showing up in a relationship, I'm talking about listening when it's needed and holding somebody when it's necessary and when they're going through some of the hardest times that they could ever go through. And like, not even unfortunately, and beautifully for you and beautifully for each other, you're there for them in that moment. It might hurt to see them in some kind of pain, but it's beautiful that you're there to accept them in that pain. And it's about celebrating each other's growth and successes. So when the other person's winning, the only thing on your mind should be, oh my gosh, I am so happy that you're winning and I love you so much. And pure encouragement. Ever. Like, if your partner has just had some kind of success, your only response to their success should be, oh my gosh, my love, I'm so proud of you. Everything else can be figured out later. Should be your only response. Show them that you love and support them, because there will be a time for you guys to have the conversation about whatever you're worrying about. But in the moment is so important when you're in a relationship, because those are the things that matter. Those are things that show that you are actually able to maneuver the small things. You notice the small things. I know that this isn't a big milestone, but you just got 5 more followers. I'm so proud of you, love. Like, all you have to say. Any other worries can be discussed later, because you have the time to do that. And I feel like a lot of the time in relationships, because we're so like accustomed to things just like not working out, we always think there's like a time limit, so we think we need to rush the growth. And there's a difference between not rushing the growth in a relationship with someone and working through things, and between someone literally not changing or not even trying or not growing at all, period. Just because like you have that separation doesn't mean that you always need to break up. However, sometimes that separation is a sign, and it's where your boundaries lie is how you'll determine whether or not you need to walk away. Because if you're holding all your boundaries up and all of a sudden you notice that you need to walk away, then that's as simple as it is. You need to walk away. However, if you're holding all your boundaries up and it's just a hard situation in the relationship, and it's more than just needing, or it's less than just needing to walk away, figure it out. It's not that hard. If it was hard, then you would want to walk away. Love is supposed to be both a safe place and a uplifting force. And that's the best way that I can describe it. So, as you know, I've already touched a little bit on how boundaries are important in this situation, but to find this love in today's world and the society that we've created for ourselves, because we're an insane group of people, these strong boundaries are literally essential, because you can fall into anybody else's cycle. Hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. One more second. So sorry, I'm just so nosy. What are they doing? Oh, wow. The same thing that just happened right now literally happened like a night or two ago. And then she came home the next morning. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm not airing out my neighbor's business. Anyways, like, it's just, wow. Interesting. Wow. Anyways. So, boundaries are very, 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 very essential in finding this true, genuine, authentic love in today's day and age. Because if you don't hold your boundaries up, it's so easy to fall for someone who has the potential of holding up those boundaries, but is still stuck in their own cycles on a daily basis. And it's not your job to teach them and guide them through their own process of healing. If they aren't going to heal, if they can't heal to where you need them to be in a relationship with you, you need to walk away because somebody else will. Or you can at least do it for yourself until this person has grown to that point. But you can't stay somewhere where you aren't allowed to grow. And I feel like a lot of the time in relationships where the other person isn't ready to grow, it doesn't give the person who wants to grow space. And so they get stuck with that person rather than growing with them. And I feel like if you're not growing together, then a lot of that times those relationships turn really toxic. So you have to be able to recognize this with your fucking boundaries, or else you're going to fall into something that does not benefit either of you in a long-term sense. You'll get a short-term justification, but you're not going to get that long-term gratification that you want. So if your only goal in life is the short-term shit and the instant gratitude that you get from small little endeavors, by all means do that. But if you want more, if you want something that's going to give you a long-term happy fucking goal, you have to be okay with being put in a position where you're uncomfortable for a little while first. Long-term happiness comes from short-term uncomfortability, not short-term gratifications. So you have to be able to understand that people who truly see and respect you are going to be able to move through these boundaries with ease. Literally, they're going to be able to literally just walk through them. They're just going to be like, oh, boundary. That's normal. Another boundary. That's normal. This is nothing. It's literally loving you and respecting your boundaries is not going to feel like something that they should get upset about or argue with you about or try to change about you. It'll never happen with the person who genuinely, truly sees and respects you. Please understand that. And just make sure that you're aware that there are going to be points in time where you are craving small, justifying connections to distract you from the real thing. Because maybe you're scared of it. Then maybe you're not ready. And that's fine. I'm not even saying that's not fine. I'm just saying if you are ready, be honest with yourself. But if you're not ready, also be honest with yourself. Settling blocks you from finding the love that you actually deserve. So it's up to you to decide what you deserve. And if you continue to settle, then you're telling yourself that what you've settled for is what you deserve. Do you agree with that? I find that I normally don't agree with that. So I walk away. And I've been walking away from a lot of things recently, and nothing's actually felt better. I've never felt more better than I have. That was probably the wrong grammar, but I don't care. I've just never felt so content with myself until I fully understood that it was genuinely okay for me to say no. And my boundaries do not make me less than anybody. And if people have a problem with my boundaries, that's on them, not me, because me having boundaries shouldn't be a problem for us to have a connection. And that's why choosing yourself is so important. You have to choose yourself first. Because if you don't, when someone doesn't align with you and doesn't align with the love that you imagined, you can almost fall into the feeling of rejection of that. And you have to change that concept. Use positive alertness and remind yourself that it's not rejection, it's a redirection into something that I actually deserve. This didn't work out because I deserve more. I'm worth more. I see that. I know that. Choosing yourself is how you stay connected with yourself. And I feel like that honestly shouldn't be something that I have to tell people. It sounds so simple. It sounds so generic. But like, let's be honest. We all know so many people that don't exude that energy, and it's hurtful sometimes because you know they deserve so much more than where they're putting their standards at and where they're letting their boundaries fall. So every time you uplift yourself, instead of settling, you're moving closer to the love that's right for you. You're moving closer to the community that actually understands and sees you fully. And you're gonna have to turn your back and you're gonna have to say no to things sometimes, but that does not mean that it's the end of the world. That just means that it's time for change. And change isn't a bad thing. It's scary, but it's not bad. So literally right now, I just want you to ask yourself, what's one boundary that you've lowered before just to feel a connection? So just to feel a connection, when was the last time that you lowered your boundaries because you wanted to feel love? Because you thought you needed somebody else to help you feel that love? Now, some people aren't going to like this one. We should be honestly avoiding situationships. I'm not saying don't go hook up with people, but like, let's bring back one night stands, but like honest one night stands. Like, if you want to go hook up with somebody, go hook up with somebody. But also at the end of the night, you can either sneak out. That's a little more je ne sais quoi if you want to, do that. Or you can be like, look, this is a great night, but like, honestly, I don't see this working out. Like, the idea of it working out sounds really cool, but like, I think about it logically for more than 30 seconds and I'm like, yeah, no. So like, we can be friends. I don't think I need to talk to you in between seeing you, but so like, I'm not going to add you on anything, but like, we can so do this. This is such a thing. Like, we don't have to get emotionally involved with every person that we've ever found attractive because of the potential that he might be the one. Because I just feel like so many people settle into half relationships out of fear that real love isn't going to come along. But that real love isn't going to come along if you're constantly caught up in the excuse that you made for it. The excuse that you made for love is going to block the real love that you deserve. So like, that's up to you. Where are you going to put yourself? Are you going to put yourself in the position to stay with fake ass love where you know that you could be getting more out of somebody else, but you're choosing to stay here because you're scared that somebody else might never come along? Like, it's time to grow from that. You deserve more. Grow from that. It's okay. You have permission to be great, and you have permission to reach for great things. And yes, that does include love. Situationships literally keep you stuck, and you have to recognize your self-worth to free you from this. Like, we don't have to get emotionally involved with everybody, and sometimes it's necessary for your story and for your journey and for what makes you you, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're literally doing it because that's what you did last year, and it worked out last year, kind of, not really, because you're doing the same thing that you were doing last year, and it's not any better. The more you love yourself first is the more magnetic that you become as a person, and especially to the person that's meant to love you. Literally, the more that you love yourself and the more that you stand on your boundaries is the more that person's literally going to be drawn to you. And one day they're gonna come over and they're gonna be like, whoosh, 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 whoa, ho, 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 I am here. And you're gonna be like, you're here, and he's gonna be like, I'm here. And then you're gonna be like, oh, you're here. Okay, prove it. And then he's gonna prove it, and it's gonna be great. Till then, just be honest with people and see where that gets you. Because you will become magnetic to the people who see you as you truly are. And you just have to give them the space to love you. Because when you stop self-sabotaging and you choose yourself, you attract a partner who mirrors the respect that you give yourself. And honestly, they're probably going to multiply it. because that's what they should do. This kind of love isn't about completion, it's about witnessing and uplifting each other. So right now, wherever you're listening this to, I want you to say to yourself, and I'm so serious when I say this, we're going to say it 3 times because I feel like you're not going to say it the first or the second time. So I'm going to say this 3 times, and by the 3rd time you should be saying this with me. I will not go unwitnessed. I will be loved for my full authentic self. One more time. I will not go unwitnessed. I will be loved for my full authentic self. I will not go unwitnessed. I will be loved for my full authentic self. Okay, thank you. I know that was hard. So thank you for saying it out loud that last time. So just to reclose what this episode really meant, and where this episode was genuinely targeted, love means being witnessed. When you feel fully seen and by yourself, know that you're ready to be loved by someone fully. Because your boundaries will protect you until the right one arrives. Until that right love arrives, until someone respects you the way that you deserve to be respected, your boundaries will protect you, but you have to hold them. You have to have the strength to hold them for yourself. You have to choose yourself first so you know that you're never settling. Give yourself everything that you thought you would need from somebody else. And I trust you. Trust me when I tell you this, one day someone will come around and take that off your shoulders. So ask yourself, am I making choices that align with the love that I deserve, or am I settling for less? Ask yourself right now. Because the love that you are waiting for will follow you when you start giving yourself that self-love first. And with that being said, I love you guys so much. Please never forget who you are and never forget what you deserve, because you are all fucking beautiful and no one can ever take that away from you. Don't let anyone's negative energy ever get you down, because I know it's fucking hard. And I hope that you guys have great rest of your days, nights, mornings, whenever you're watching this. I love you so much. So much.